Hello, we are going to tell you about double beam UV visible spectrophotometer. This is the display and this is your control panel. This is the sample compartment. In the sample compartment you can see this is your reference cell and this is your sample cell holder, and you can see that the light passes through this side to this side. Our detector is present here and light comes through these holes. Now I am going to tell you about the various functions of this machine. This is photometry mode, this is kinetics mode, and in the application we can find two options, that is multi-wavelength and protein DNA. By clicking this escape button we can come out to the main menu. Here we can find the quantitation mode, in which we can plot a graph between absorption and concentration. This is the wavelength scanning mode. Here you can scan the wavelength and test the lambda max of any sample. Now I will show you how to scan. You will press enter to enter the wavelength scanning mode, and here you have various options. This is the starting and ending wavelength, so we just have to keep this for this particular test. If you want to change anything, you can use these buttons to go up and down. In the scan setup we will press this right button and come to the test parameter and change it. For example, if you want to test only up to 1000, you will just press 1000 and press enter, and you can see 1000 has been selected. Now we will press escape once again. Now we have seen a dialog box which says should we create baseline. We will press OK and machine will start to baseline. This will take a few seconds. Now as you can see, baseline is complete. Now we will take our cuvettes, and first we will fill our cuvette with the Firstly, I have placed this in the reference cell. Now I am taking a second cuvette. Always clean the polished sides of the cuvettes before placing it in the holder. Once placed, now we will shut the chamber and press the 0 key. Now you can see it is showing blanking. Now you can see blanking is complete. It is showing 0 absorption. We will take out the cuvette from the sample holder. Now I am going to take my sample. I have poured my sample in the cuvette. Very carefully clean the polished sides and make sure the polished sides face the sensor, and you can see that light passes from this side to this side, from right to left to be precise. Now I have put in my sample. Now we will come to the panel and press the start button. Now you can see the absorption value at different wavelengths will be displayed here, and a graph will also be made. You can see that the scan is complete. It is showing us to save the file. If you want to save it, we can press this save button. If we just want to look at other parameters, we can press escape. And this is a graph. We can click the menu key, and to look up the peak, we can come to the look up peak option, and then we can press the lookup data and press the enter key, and we can see that the peak is 511 nanometers. So now we know the lambda max. This is the lambda max. Lambda max is the point at which there is maximum absorption. Now we will come to photometry and we will put in this particular wavelength. First we will put the absorption. Now firstly we will remove the sample. We will put our distilled water or base back again. Now we will press this go to wavelength button and we will input our desired wavelength. So we are putting in 511 because that is our lambda max for the sample. Now the device will go to that particular wavelength and it will be shown here. So you can see it has been set at 511. Now we will press the 0 key to blank it. It has been blanked. Now we will open the chamber, remove the water. Now we will place our sample once again and press the start key. Now you can see absorption is 0.222 and transmission is 59.9. Now we will learn more about the kinetics mode. We will press enter and you can see all these options. In the test time we will put in our desired time range. We have put 30 seconds and the interval time we have set 1 second. Now we will press escape. Once here we can put a different wavelength, but we are choosing to do our test at 511 nanometers only. So first we will take our blank solution. This is the blank. We have placed our blank in the sample compartment. Now we press the 0 key. Once it has been zeroed, we will replace it with our sample. Now you can see this is the absorption and this axis is the time. We will start it. So there will be a reading at the interval of 1 second which we have set in this particular experiment. So this is a normal sample. So there is a straight line. If you use Bradford or Lorry, you can see a zigzag pattern because there is reaction in those samples. Once the cycle is complete, it will show you save file dialog box. We will just escape it. We will come back to the main menu now and I will tell you more about the application. In this we will learn more about multi-wavelength. Here you can put the fixed wavelengths at which you want to make your test. We can set 3 wavelengths, 4 wavelengths or 5 wavelengths. So for this test we will just do 3 wavelengths. We will press enter and we can set those particular wavelengths. For example, we will set 511 551 560. Enter. Now we press escape. Now we will first put the blank. After putting the blank, we will press the 0 key. Now it has been blanked. Now we will replace the blank by the test solution. Now we shall press the start key. And you can see absorption has been displayed at various wavelengths. Now we will learn more about quantitation. First we will create curve. Here we have a few options in the fit mode. We can choose first order or first order through 0, second order, and so on. So we will choose first order 0, and calibration method we can choose standard sample or coefficient. So here we will choose standard sample. Now this is how many standard samples we want to create the curve with. For this experiment we will choose 3 standard samples. Here you can choose the concentration unit. So I will choose grams per liter, and this is the wavelength at which you want to test. I will input 511 for this test. Now we'll press OK. So I have already prepared 3 standards. The lightest one is having the least concentration, and the darkest one is having the maximum concentration. Firstly, we have to blank it once again. This is our blank. We will do 0. Now we will remove the blank, and we are pouring the standard. So now here we will input the concentration, 100, enter. We will press read absorption, enter. Here we can see the absorption. Now we will remove it. Now we will blank it once again. We will press 0. Now we will put the second standard. We will input the concentration at 200, press enter, and we will read the absorption. You can see absorption here. Now we will use the third standard. Firstly, now we have placed a third standard, and the concentration has been set to 300. Now we are doing a reading. Now we will do OK, and now you can see this is the graph that is being plotted, and the R factor is 0.93. So we can see that we can visually see that lighter to darker the absorption has increased. That means it is correct. Now that the graph has been plotted, now we will test the unknown sample. For that, firstly we will blank it. To blank it, we have put the blank inside, and now we will press 0. Has been 0. Now we will take our unknown sample. We have placed it in the chamber, and we will press the start button. So we can see it is showing concentration as 143.7 grams per liter. Now we press escape. We don't want to save the data in this case, so we have pressed escape, cancel. Now we are back to the main menu.